So what we are going to do here is to add a disperse effect on an image. So let's open the image that we would like to edit. So we would like to work on this file, and as I can see beforehand, I have adjusted the exposure, highlights. So here we just need to adjust that. And once you are satisfied with the effect, then just hit open. And what I would like to do is to make a copy of this file, just to make sure that I have the backup of the original image. So let me turn off the background. And here I'm just going to change the paintbrush to a regular one. Alright, now let's remove the background. Click on Quick Selection tool, select Subject, and Photoshop will select our subject for us. Alright, and what we have to do now is to add a layer. So just click on Layer Mask, and we have a good selection here, but I'm just going to refine the tip of the nose a little bit. So we have here on the layer panel, the layer mask is selected. So on our foreground color, we have to choose black, and to remove the remaining background here. So we have to make sure that Ctrl D. We have to make sure that paintbrush is selected, and then you can increase the size of the paintbrush by pressing on so let's decrease the size of the paintbrush. By using the bracket key on the keyboard, and I'll just remove this one, and also on the lips, and I'll just change the foreground color to white to add or to refine the edges here, and also on the lips. And then we're good on this. Now I convert this to Smart Object, and I'll just rasterize the layer. And then I'm going to flip the image. So just go to Image Rotation, flip Canvas horizontally. And now I would like to add more space on the right side of my image. So just go to, or just click on the crop tool and just expand this. And hit check or OK. And now let's add a background. So for this one, I want to have a gradient background. So Our layer 1 is selected. I'm going to change the name of this layer 1 to model. So model and then gradient. Now I'm going to change this to radial. Oh, let me change the effect to black and white. Hit OK, and then let's make it radial. So I want the center to be the light one. So let's reverse this. And I'm going to increase the size of our gradient effect so that only the bright side will be shown on the canvas. So I think I'm happy with this. Yeah, that one. And then the highlight, I'm going to drag it a little bit below the horizon. Yes, I want something like that. And then hit OK. So this is our background. So we just need to drag this down, drag this under our model. Now we have something like this. So let's add the Disperse Effect. So in adding Disperse Effect, we are just going to use our brush. And how do we do that? So let's make a copy of our model. So this is our model, and I'm going to change this to liquefy because we're going to liquefy later. And we're going to use the warp tool. So let me go to warp tool here. Go to filter, making sure that the liquefy, let me deactivate the model layer first. So I'll go to filter and then liquefy. All right, so this one is already selected, forward warp tool. So what we only need to do is the right edge of our subject. We just need to press this one and then drag to the right side. So just do something like this. So I'm using my Wacom pen in moving this, but you can also use your mouse if you don't have your tablet. All right, so I think we're good. Now just hit on OK. Okay, now that we're good with that, let's go ahead and add layer mask on these two layers, the liquefy and the model. On liquefy, I want to have a negative layer mask. So we just need to click on Alt and click on the layer mask icon below or at the bottom of the layer panel, this one. So it covers everything. And then let's turn on the model layer and add a layer on that. So now let's go ahead and add the effect. Let's go to brush. And this is the brush tool that we are going to use. So I'm going to add a description, the link to download this brush. So we're going to choose brush number 1536 and let's click on our layer mask. So our brush looks like this. And we have to make sure that our foreground color is black because our layer mask here is white. And then let's just add, yes, so let's add the effect. So I would like to increase the size of this and also right click and change the angle of your brush. So I'd like to have this effect here. Then just Ctrl J if it's too much. All right. And then let's go to our liquify layer mask and then change the foreground color to white. And let us reverse the direction of our paintbrush. Right click. So just right click and so our paintbrush now is facing the right side. Now let's add the effect. I'm going to start with smaller brush strokes here, but we have to make sure that our layer mask is selected, foreground color is white, and then so this is just a glitch, so click on that. Now I want to change this flow. That's a glitch. So I'm changing the angle of the paintbrush. And now let me increase the size of this. And then I'm going to change the flow to 100%. And now we have that. Let me just change the opacity of this one and the flow a little bit. All right. Okay, now if you are happy with the effect, then let's go ahead and add a gradient map. So let's just go to adjustment layer using this icon here below the layer panel and gradient map. Let's just click on this, and then we can choose the effect or the color that we want. So here I'd like to choose blue. All right, and hit OK. Now I'd like to drag this down and change this to soft light, and the opacity something like this. I want something like that, and now we're good. You just need to save the file as Photoshop. And I'm gonna name this Disperse. Now you can also export your file. Just go to File, Export, Export As, and simply export your file as JPEG or PNG. So here I'm just gonna export this one as a JPEG file. Gonna click on export, and we have here and that's it.